I checked over the homework in the online textbook, and some of us had trouble, so I'm just going to quickly go through the work for the problems for these pyramids, finding the volume of pyramids. Usually, if the solids were mixed, I'd have you identify the shape first and identify whether it's a pyramid or a prism. But in this case, all of them are going to be pyramids, so we'll skip that first step. All right, we know it's going to be a pyramid, and there's only one volume formula for a pyramid, and that is volume equals 1/3 BH. And that's a capital B, which is different than a lowercase b. A capital B means we're going to find the area of the capital B for base. All right, the area of the base. And the base of a pyramid is the polygon that's attached to all these other triangles, right? It's the polygon that doesn't go up to the point, all right? Doesn't go up to that point. All right, so that's our base here. So we have to find the area of that shape, and since it's a rectangle, we're going to find the area by doing base times height. Now that's a little b because we're talking about just the dimensions of this rectangle. So the base and height of the actual rectangle on the bottom, right, are 2 and 2. 2 times 2. So the base there is 4. So we're going to plug it into the formula. 1/3. We know that the area of the base is 4, so we're going to replace the big B with that. And then the height is that line that meets at this right angle, the right angle there. All right, we have that. That tells us what the height of the actual pyramid is. This h is the height of the pyramid, whereas this h is the height of the base. All right, so that can be a little bit confusing, but with practice, it becomes pretty clear. All right, so then we're going to do this calculation. So 1 divided by 3 gives us 1/3, and then times, and then times 4 times 5. And that gives us 6.6 repeating. 6.6 repeating, which we are supposed to round to the nearest tenth, so that would be 6.7. All right, first one in the books. Let's try the next one. All right, we have another pyramid. Obviously, this is the pyramid assignment. So now we're going to write the formula. So 1/3 big B little h, and we have to first fill in that B, and B is always the area of the base. And in this case, we have a base that is a triangle. So this one's going to be a little different than the previous one. All right, we know now there's 4 triangles that make up this pyramid. The base is actually a triangle, and all those other faces that we've talked about going up to the point, that's a triangle, that's a triangle, and then there's a triangle in the back over there. But also the base is a triangle. That green shape down there is a triangle. So it can get a little confusing. Well, then which one's the base? Well, the base is the one that shows the height here of the pyramid, hitting it at a right angle here. So then that's how we know which shape is the base. So that means that this triangle on the bottom there is the base. It's not always the bottom. It often is the bottom shape, but it's not always. So that means when we find the area of that shape, we're not going to use base times height. We're going to use the formula for area of a triangle, which is 1/2 base times height. Now we're going to plug in those dimensions for that bottom shape. So we have 1/2 times 2.4. Oops, not 2.4. 1.4 times 1.8. So we have these two dimensions of this triangular base. We need our calculator. I'm going to use 0.5 times 1.4 times 1.8. And that gets us 1.26. So the base is 1.26. So now we're ready to substitute that in. Capital B is 1.26, and we have our height going up from the base, or going perpendicular to the base, and that's going to be 2.4. I definitely will need my calculator here. So I'm going to do 1 divided by 3 gets me my 1/3 times, and I'm going to multiply by 1.26 and 2.4. So times 1.26 times 2.4, and that gives me 1.008. And let's see, if I round that to the nearest tenth, I look at the hundredths place, it's a 0, so that says keep. So we have A there. Next problem. Woo! This one looks very strange, and it's hard to wrap my head around what this is, but once I look at it for a little bit, I see that this is just kind of an upside down pyramid. All right, where this is actually the base. It's a triangular pyramid because the base is a triangle, but I see this height here in the inside of the shape kind of meets right there with that triangle that I outlined in green, and it has that right angle. So that's how I determine where the base is in this shape. All right, it's this height that goes up to the top, and I also know because it gives me like 2 dimensions of it. But so now we're ready to get started. Volume equals 1/3 big B little h. The big B is the area of the base, and we indicated it over to the left there, outlined it in green. It's a triangle, so we use the area formula for a triangle, which is 1/2 base times height. The base and height, now there's another right angle here, which says that this is the base and height of that triangle. So we have 1/2 times 2.6 times 10.8. 1/2 times 2.6 times 1.8 is 234. Oops. I meant to do, let's see, clear that. 1 divided by 3. Sorry. Messed up again. 0.5 times, what is it again? 2.6 and 10.8. 2.6, 10.8, that's 1404. There we go. 14.04. So now we're ready to plug it into the formula. 1/3 times 14.04 times the height, and that's that purple line there, times 6.4. So we are going to do, excuse me, 1/3 times 14.04 times 6.4 is 29.952. 29.952. All right, now we're going to look at it. We're going to say that this 5 tells the 9 to round up, which then bumps that 9 up to a 10, which bumps this up to a 3. So that's going to be 30. Keep it moving. Here we go. My oldest is trying to keep my kids quiet out there, but they're obviously not listening to him. I'm going to have to go out there and get angry. All right, last two. This is the more difficult part. It's asking to find the height of the pyramid, and they give you a volume. So we have to use the volume formula because this involves volume, and we're trying to find the missing height. So when we write the formula here, all right, we have 1/3 base times height. We get, we're going to have to, so this here, this H here, is the one that's going to actually stay. we're going to substitute in for the other variables, and then we're going to solve the equation for that h. So let's try this here. So they give us the volume of 108. So the v is going to be replaced with 108. Now we still have the 1/3, and now how are we going to replace the b? Okay, well, it gives us some important information. It says the triangular base has an edge of 12 inches and a base height of 9 inches. So the big B, it's a triangle, so we're going to use 1/2 base times height, 1/2. The dimensions of that triangle they gave us are 12 inches and 9 inches. Okay, and so we get big B this time is going to be 1/2 of 12 is 6. 6 times 9 is 54. So we have 54 here. And then we still have the h there because we're trying to find the height. We don't know what that is. They didn't give a number for us to substitute in there. So now we're going to simplify these two. I'm just going to multiply those. So 1/3 of 54, which comes to 18. You can use a calculator. H. All right. Now we have an equation with a variable on one side, and it has this coefficient here. Right? We're going to use inverse operations to isolate it. So we're going to do divide by 18, divide by 18. H equals 108 divided by 18. 108 divided by 18. Ooh, it comes out so nicely. Comes out to 6. All right, so there we have it. So that is the height that we would need to get us a volume of 108. This will be a very similar problem. Let's read it over. The Great Pyramid has a height of, we're talking about the Great Pyramid here. Has a height of 480 feet, 480.7 feet, and base edges about 756 feet. The base is almost square. Find the approximate, we're just finding the volume. So this goes back to the original problems that we were doing. So we're finding volume. So we need the volume formula for, it says a pyramid, right? So we're using the volume formula for a pyramid, which we've been using this whole time. So we know we have a square base. So to find the area of that square base, we're going to multiply the length times the width, or the base times the height, side times side. And it says that the base edges are about 756 feet. So that's going to be base times height. So we'll do 756 times 756. Well, let's figure that out. 756 times 756. Whoa, 571,000. 500. Wow. 571,536. All right. So now we're ready to plug it in here. 1/3 times 571,536. And we said, it says it has a height of 480.6. So let's do that. So times by 480.6. All right, and then we have to take 1/3 of that, which is the same as dividing by 3, which gives us, I don't think I divided by 3 there. Oops. How do I look at my history? There it is. History. Okay, I did. All right. So it's about 91.5 million, which is over here. There it is. All right. Yeah, there we go. 91.5, comma. Looks like it's that guy there. Whew! All right. That was a little bit long, but I hope it helps. Good luck.